this week at the farm, we're making teriyaki steak sandwiches. Made a nice teriyaki sauce with green onions, fresh ginger, fresh garlic, a little white pepper, soy sauce, brown sugar. I used white wine instead of rice vinegar, and just a touch of sesame oil. And got the steaks marinated right before I started grilling them. You don't want to over marinate them, so 15-20 minutes is good. And we're using cabbage from the farm, which is really nice and sweet, just like you would do it if you were making cabbage rolls. This is looking really good. Yeah, this is our bonus content. You know, I wanted to show people that you can grill vegetables and it's even better. This is the same way you do cabbage leaves for cabbage rolls. You put the whole head in and you cut the complete core out so that water can get inside there. And as these fall off, you take them off. That leaf comes off, but we still need to cook it a little, so we'll remove the leaf and then let that simmer just a little bit longer so they get soft. And then I got them here. They're steaming in this container, so they're going to continue to get soft. I was trying to think of something that would be good for a piece of steak, teriyaki style, without bread, and it was just a natural that I thought that the cabbage would be perfect for this. And then when you get down to this a little bit, you can just cut that up and saute it in some butter or olive oil and have it as a vegetable, because these leaves now are too small to use, but you can still use that cabbage. Either use wood, oak, cherry, mesquite, or I use hardwood charcoal. Today I'm using hardwood charcoal. I never use the briquettes because they're compressed. They usually have kerosene in them, and I just don't like that flavor coming off my... So I use a chimney, and I use newspaper to get my charcoal, my hardwood, fired. If you use lighter fluid to light your charcoal, you still get some of that fume on your meat, so I don't use it at all. And then when they get too small, cut them in half and put them back in the water so they can cook off completely. And then we'll cut those up in olive oil or butter with a little bit of salt, and it's delicious. A delicious side dish. Boiled cabbage. Teriyaki sauce, which is green onions, some smashed ginger, a little chopped garlic, brown sugar or regular sugar. I like to use the brown. Soy sauce. A little white wine, about the same amount as soy sauce to water that down a bit. A little fish sauce, gives you a little savoriness. A little touch of sesame oil, not too much. And a little bit of plum jelly. It's a little more salt. Should just be a little bit sweet, a little bit salty. Then I've got some sirloin ball tips here that were cut into 4-ounce steaks, and they were Jaccarded, so they're nice and tender. Jaccarded, yeah, they run it through a Jaccarder that cuts them like this. It's like for cube steak, just a little bit, don't need a lot. And you really want to do this 10 or 15 minutes before you go. You don't want to, if you do this like earlier in the morning, it over marinates. So you don't want to overdo it. And the carrots, I'll put this sauce on top of the carrots as well. Yeah. I just glaze those carrots with a little bit of oil, get some color on them, and then I put them in a pan to protect them from the direct flame. And this is the cut of meat that's usually used in the steak sandwiches in the restaurant, because it's a little bit more economical. And the sirloin is always the tastiest, the beefiest flavor of the cow or the steer. The best tasting meat is on the front end of the cow. And the insides of the cabbage, where the leaves aren't big enough to make my gluten-free teriyaki steak sandwich, we finish cooking in here and we roast it. And then we'll cut these carrots up in the cabbage and mix them together with a little bit of the teriyaki. Roasting vegetables on the grill, I believe, is the best way to eat them because they're sweet, they've got that char, and they're unique, they're different. And I'll have to make some more teriyaki sauce, but it's easy. It's just soy sauce. You know, you could use rice vinegar instead of white wine. You're just looking for some acid. And I like to use brown sugar instead of white because it just, you know, it has the molasses in there. It gives you a little bit more depth. You know, you have to have fresh ginger, though, and garlic. You can't use ginger powder or anything dry. Organic Japanese soy sauce. Okay, we're ready to go. It smells good already. Because of the sugar in there, it helps get this nice caramely color. Grilled carrots, just picked. They're not cooked all the way, so I'm baking them now on here. So this is the gluten-free steak sandwich. A little sauce, a little peppers and onions, a little cucumber. Now don't lie, tell the truth.
I am not lying.
It's okay?
It's great. You can taste the sweetness too in the teriyaki.
Sweetness is from the cabbage from here.
Oh, the cabbage.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it would be a real good match as a cabbage leaf because, you know, a lot of Asian food, you know, they use cabbage. Everything from the garden except the meat. See how nice that color is? They got a nice hot fire so it's not sticking. I was baking my own bread and like I do at the restaurant, and everybody didn't want bread, so I was like, oh, maybe I should just come up with something that's gluten-free. And my kids always love the lettuce wraps at Cheesecake Factory, so I thought because the cabbage here is sweet,
thank you.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Most people are gluten-free that shop at the farm here, so I figured I'd do it inside of a cabbage leaf so they could still eat a piece of meat. And the cabbage here that they grow here is so sweet. It's delicious.
All of you, both of us loved it.
They loved it? Did you get that, Zach? They loved it. Are you telling the truth? Did you have some?
Yeah, they're amazing.
You know, this one was 9 stitches, not 7. Yeah, no golf for like 8 weeks. And, you know, I had just gotten the pool cleaned, you know, after 5 weeks of, you know, doing the salt and the natural cleaning and vacuuming it. And, you know, I just got it. And then the weather is 95 degrees. So, you know, I don't have a heater on the pool. So, you know, there's like a 3-month window.
And then you're not allowed to be in it.
Right.
You gotta keep it out of the water.
And my mother said, well, maybe it's God's way of saying, slow down, Gregory. It's like, okay, well, you know, couldn't he have just sent me a text?